Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Greg from Blue 13 Sounds. I just wanted to put together a tutorial video on how to use loops and stretch and shrink them to your session's tempo. So with that said, I'll try to get through this fairly quickly so you can get the information you need. All right, let's go ahead and start. I have a session in Pro Tools open. As all I have is a talkback channel and a click track. I've already changed the tempo to 115. I'm actually going to change that to 110. Okay, just to start. And there's no files in here at all. All right, so let's go ahead and import stuff from the workspace. Got my workspace open. I'm actually already in the folder I want, but I'll back out for a second. Basically, you just need to go to your hard drive and find the location of the loops and samples wherever you store them. And in the workspace, you can kind of audition things and drag and drop them in. So we'll go to the first folder of Tambourines, and I've gone down to the 100 BPM folder and open that up. And my thought process there is I wanted to grab the tempo that is closest to the tempo of the session. To me, that produces the cleanest and most organic sounding loops when you stretch or shrink them. So we'll back it up. You can see I have folders at 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, and 160 BPM. So we'll go to 100. You could do 120 as well. I'm choosing 100 because we will be shrinking, and I think shrinking the waveform or the loop actually produces better results than stretching it. All right. So it doesn't actually matter what we're grabbing to show you how to do this. So I will actually, I'll play for you the 8ths, 2 and 4. Cool. And there's a few other ones. Here's triplets. Cool. Even. Okay, very nice. One thing to note here is that I actually had the conform to sessions tempo button highlighted. So we were actually listening to these loops at 110. This is a really powerful button that allows you to audition the loops that you're thinking about using at your sessions tempo. Without this, just to show you, it plays it back at the recorded tempo. And in this case, that's 100 BPM. Okay, so we're actually going to leave this button off temporarily, and we're going to drag and drop this in. So we'll do the 8s, 2 and 4. That one right there. Great. Pulled in. You just bring it in on the gray space, and now we have a loop brought in. It's at the beginning of our session. Okay. So this was, look, you can see in the file name it's 100 BPM, and our session's at 110, so it doesn't actually line up with the grid. And you can see up here where the length is of our loop, it's actually showing it at 4 bars and a beat and a half, basically. So if we play back with the click, sounds like this. Okay, so that's not really lining up and working, which is the point of stretching and shrinking these. Okay, so in order to do this, the easiest way is go up here to your TCE tool or your trim tool, and you're going to switch this to TCE. Okay, and then you just pull it back till you're down to 4 bars up here. Now, that's what the loop is recorded at. So anytime you're using the loops that we made or that we're providing, then this is you want to get it to 4 bars. That way, it's actually on the grid. And you can look, you zoom in, you can see how everything's right there on the grid. All right, if we play back. It's lining up with the click. So that's the easiest way to stretch or shrink this. Okay. So a couple notes about this way of doing it. If I'm going to pull open the clips list a little bit more. If you do it this way, you actually create a second file on your hard drive, and you can see it was rendered here with the time shift algorithm or the TCE tool. Okay. There's a way to do this where you actually don't create a new file and save a little bit of disk space. Okay, so let's undo that stretching so that file went away. If we enable Elastic Audio on the track where the loop is placed, so Elastic Pro, it's the one I've been using the most recently, and we pull it back, now it looks like it created a new file, but it actually didn't. This -01 at the end of the file is actually like a subset of the original file. So it didn't actually render and create a new file. So that just saves a little bit of disk space and sounds the same. Same result. You can just save a little bit of disk space. That's all. Okay. Now, let's say you change the tempo of your session because you're doing pre-production and you realize we want this faster. It feels a little slow, so we changed the tempo from 110 to 115. Our loop did not change with the grid. So here we are looking up here at how long the loop is. It's 4 bars and just under a beat. Now we can use the TCE tool and we can pull it back. And now we're at 4 bars again, so we're good to go. Okay, so that's working for us. However, there's actually another way that's a little bit better and will just automatically do it for you. So if we go down to the Elastic Audio button down here on the track and we change this samples icon to ticks, now when we change the session's tempo, it moved with it for us, so we didn't have to do that. So that gets rid of an extra step, which every little step that we can take out of the process, it means we're just being a little bit more efficient. And that's working for us. Same result. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the last way, and this is the way I usually do it. So I'm going to actually delete this track and that, and I'm going to delete these out of the session, the actual files. Yep, that's fine. All right, let's pull the workspace back up. Okay, so I've got my workspace back up. If we turn this button on that I had on earlier that lets us hear the loop at the session's tempo, that actually it makes it even easier when dragging and dropping this stuff in. So we'll play it back real quick. Okay, so it's playing back at 115, which is the tempo of our session. So now if we drag and drop this in, and let's hide our workspace, it actually did all of that for us. It actually conformed this loop to 115, enabled Elastic Audio, and the tracks at ticks because we had the tick button, the conform to tempo session in the workspace. And it didn't create a new file over here. So that actually did everything for us. So if we just have that one button enabled, we can just drag and drop this in. Those are the different ways that we can conform our loop to our tempo of our session, whether we're shrinking or stretching it. Okay, I hope that helps. I'm Greg from Blue 13 Sounds, and I hope that it helps you get the most out of these loops and samples. Thanks.